Hello, lovely humans. Welcome back to the C2C Podcast. In this episode, I want to talk about the speed that you are taking actions inside of your business. And I also want to talk about what makes successful health practitioners continue to grow. This is the traits, not just all of the things that they do inside of their business. And this episode comes off of a conversation that I had with a friend at the gym. I haven't seen this guy probably, I'd say, close to 3 months, maybe about 2.5. The last time we had a conversation, it was at a coffee shop. I was writing some more of my book. And when I was writing, he kind of decided to pick my brain for about 10 to 15 minutes. He is not in the health industry. So he actually owns a plumbing company, very successful plumbing company. And we were spitballing some stuff back and forth. He had a couple of questions on how to manage his team. I always love talking. So I set the book aside and we're just having a conversation about teams. And then this is when he brought up, he was like, you know what? I would really love to start a course for other plumbers because there are a lot of plumbers who are really good at being the technician, but they don't actually know how to set up the team and set up these systems. And I was like, well, why haven't you yet? And his response was, well, I want to wait until I get to a certain point in my business first before I then have the confidence to do that. And I told him right out the gate, I was like, look, you don't need to be any farther along in your business. You have a proven model. You have a successful team. You have all of these tools. And there are a lot of people who are way in the early stages that you can help with this. And he was like, well, I was thinking about maybe doing something as a course. And I just told him, you could start this course, run it, fill it effectively today or tomorrow. And you don't have to wait until you have some larger scale model or 30 or 40 trucks on the road to prove this thing. That was kind of where the conversation ended. And of course, because it was something that was very quick, it was maybe 15 or 20 minutes, I had almost forgotten about it. And I was working out at the gym. And he approached me and he was like, hey, I just wanted to take the time to thank you for a second. And I was like, what are you wanting to thank me for? He said, well, when you told me that I should start the course and that I shouldn't wait until I got to the point, my wife and I sat down. I told her that I was going to run the course. We had the course up in 3 weeks. We sold our first course for $3,000. We sold the second one for $4,500. The third one we sold for $6,000. And I just finished selling the course to someone, a specific business owner, for $17,000, and the course is already filled out and it's built. And I was like, holy cow, from within a single conversation to 2.5 months, he had filmed the course, promoted the course, got people to sign up for it, was building it out along the way, and he sold it. And to me, that is something that determines whether or not someone is going to be successful in business. It is very rare when I have conversations outside with outside of practitioners, with other people who talk about business ideas, that people have the ability to implement and that they actually take an idea and run with it. And just think about maybe some of your friends who aren't in business, or maybe some of them who are solopreneurs that want to take things to the next level. They're always going to ask for advice. They're going to ask for tips. You might have conversations on business, but how many of those people actually take it a step further and actually run with it and implement? And that is one of the things that makes a practitioner and a health coach the most successful in this industry. Because I can tell you, most practitioners and health pros, they have tons of business ideas where they keep writing down what they want to do. They're like, I want to start this new program. I want to run this course. I want to hire this person. I want to do this marketing campaign. And they get caught in the planning stages. It's always planning. This is what it would look like for me to build out. But then when it actually comes to actually taking action on it, do they actually have the time, or do they have the ability or the willingness to take action on these ideas? Taking imperfect action is one of the biggest traits of a successful business owner, because you don't have to have all of the pieces in play. So just like my friend who was like, hey, that's a really good idea, he decided to basically get the jump on it. That's why he has a course that has people in it and he's making money from it already. And there's this thing when it comes to practitioners where we have this level of perfectionism because we think that everything is going to have to be perfect in order for a client to see a really great result. Like, I can't take them through the course unless it is completely the way that I would want it visually shown, and I want all my fonts and my colors to be this, and I want the entire experience to be this way. But in building that out, you really don't know a lot. You don't know whether or not a client is going to need it that way. You don't know whether you're going to build out the course and you're going to have to make changes to maybe reflect the results that the client's got. You also don't know if that's going to be the way that you're going to run it long term, which is why sometimes a lot of these ideas inside of the planning stage actually never make it to fruition inside of your business. It can be really easy for you to have all of these dreams and these goals and aspirations, and then by the time you look at to all of the things required to make it perfect, to make it to your current standard, you say to yourself, it's going to take way too much time. And the majority of you are too busy to say, well, I don't want to spend additional time, energy, and effort putting this in when I don't know how I'm going to fill it. And that's the second thing as well, too. A lot of us, especially when we're building something new in our business, we have this hesitation where it's like, well, if I'm going to build it, it's not in a state in which I'm comfortable selling it. And so you don't end up getting any clients for it. And that's one of the things that I'll say. I mean, my friend, he is a very inspiring person, because not only does he have a willingness to listen to people's ideas, he also has the willingness to put something out there because he's not worried about proving the model. He knows that he has the confidence to deliver the results. And that's basically all you need when it comes to launching anything inside of your business. You know that your business has been successful up until this point. You know that everything that you've built into your business has delivered a result. So everything new, whether it's a new program, a new course, a new way that you're running your model, it is going to work because you're going to make it work. And this is the key to all successful health coaching businesses. It's like every single business I've come across that has large teams, that has steady recurring revenue, that is growing month over month, they operate the same way. They take imperfect action. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They are choosing to make the moments perfect. So whatever the moment is in right now, they're like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to capitalize on this idea. And here's the benefit of moving quickly, being fast in terms of actions inside of your business, and taking initiative right away. You have the momentum of excitement. A lot of the times, you being fired up about an idea inside of your business, you being so excited to deliver this new thing to your client, that's going to be what sells it and what fills it inside of your business. But when we start getting caught in our heads, looking at where are all the nurture sequences, what does the landing page look like, where am I going to post this, how many clients do I expect from this? And you start getting so logical, you actually become disconnected from the thing that you're trying to push and promote, or the new offer you're trying to sell. And then it becomes really hard for you to get fired up about it. This is also where sometimes some of the things that might take longer in your business, like events or retreats, become really hard for you to push, fill, and sell, because you start losing the passion and the momentum. You had the excitement up front, but because maybe you took a little too long to pull the trigger on some of these things, the excitement starts to wind down, and then you start to get super logical, like, how am I actually going to do this? The reality is the people who move fast don't need to know all of the how. A successful business owner only needs to know the step that they have to do next that is in front of them. And there was a great conversation that I had with a mentor a while back, where he talks about the first 5 to 10 minutes of uncomfortability. So think about it like going to the gym. When you have a gym schedule and you're going to the gym all the time, let's say you go 4 days a week, the hour and the workout doesn't change. That difficulty is always going to be the same difficulty. What changes is the circumstances going to the gym. So let's say it's like we had a snowstorm yesterday here, and it's like finally clear and it's nice and sunny. But let's say if that was your day to go to the gym, but all of a sudden now you're like, well, now I have to pack boots. Now I have to drive in the slush. Now I've got to take extra time to be careful. And like all of these things build resistance to doing the thing that you had intended to do, which was workout. The action didn't change. The resistance to get to the place to take the action is what changes. And because that 5 to 10 minutes extra that you have to think and plan and do that stuff, you never actually end up taking action on that idea. So you have a lot of great ideas, you have a lot of great opportunities that you can capitalize in your business, but you don't because you're getting upfront resistance and you're getting caught on the logical and you're getting caught on the how. But imperfect action is understanding that the first 5 to 10 minutes of taking action on anything is going to be the thing that is required for you to get there. That's why I don't hesitate to try new things. I'm not afraid to fail. There's tons of stuff in business that I didn't do right, but I make more right decisions than I make wrong decisions. And that is because I'm open to feedback. I'm open to feedback from my team. I'm open to feedback that I'm receiving from coaches and mentors that I'm working with. And I'm also open to feedback on the results that I did or didn't get inside of my business. So if I go and I run a marketing campaign and I say, okay, I spent $1,500 on this and I got like a 0.8 to 1 or like a 1-to-1 return. I basically just barely made my money back on it. I'm not going to take that personally. I'm not going to say, oh, that sucks that didn't work the way I thought. I'm going to say, well, how can I take what worked well? How can I ditch what didn't? And get feedback from my mentors and the professionals I have to help me to make it work better the second time. Because I don't take failure personally, because I'm not afraid to fail, and because I'm not afraid to hear no or I'm not interested, I can make these decisions a lot faster. And this is where you have to take a look at what is your relationship with failure? What is your relationship with the word no or with hard? Because as business owners, we've chosen hard. Like, I'm a big believer, if you have to have hard in your life, because easy life doesn't exist. Easy life is where everything gets done for you. It's very boring. If you have to have a difficult life that has challenges, I would rather choose my hard than let my hard be chosen for me. So in going through this process, becoming a successful business owner inside of a health and fitness industry means that you have to operate and make decisions very quickly. You can't be afraid of them being wrong. And truthfully, when it comes to making a decision, there is no such thing as a right or wrong decision in business because we make decisions right by making adjustments. If the marketing didn't work, you're going to pivot. If you ran a program and the program didn't have the retention that you want, you're going to add things to the program. If you hired on a teammate and that person didn't work, you're going to let them go and you're going to find someone else. Now you know what to look for and what not to work for. So we will always make those decisions right. And it's the people who can pivot, who are open to learning from others, and who have a willingness to fail that are the most successful inside of the health and wellness industry. On top of that, a willingness also is a willingness to hire outside help. For everything that I want to grow and grow quickly, I always hire outside help. This is why I work with mentors. This is why I have specialists when it comes to ads or specialists when it comes to my YouTube channel, because I know that there's a limited amount of information that I know. And if I don't have the information myself, I want to work with the people who do have the information. So all this to say, when I was having this conversation with my friend, there were all of these traits that I saw that I mirror or that mirror the same traits and qualities that are inside a lot of the clients we work with inside of C2C. I saw within him an openness to learn from someone who wasn't in his industry. He was like, holy cow, I never considered that I could start the course today, and I'm going to go and I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on it right now. Also, he had an openness to failure. He had a willingness to be able to experience a potential failure. There wasn't his ego attached into it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to start with the first step. We're going to sit down. What are some of the modules that they need? And we're going to build it along the way. And then also, he was brave. He was brave in which when he sold the first program and he had someone go through it, he recognized that there was so much value that the service was too cheap, and he increased his price and he sold it again. And then he increased his price and he sold it again. And he kept increasing the price because the program kept changing and he kept offering more and more value. Now he has this comprehensive course for all these plumbers to be able to get support inside of their business. And through that process, one of the things that he did, which he shared with me, was every single time he had someone go through the program, he was open to feedback. He was like, what else do you want to learn? How else can I continue to serve you? And that actually opened up a whole new avenue that he's exploring now in his business, where they were like, is there a way that you can actually do this for us? Can you step into our business and put these things together, not just teach us how to put these things together? So now we're having conversations, him and I, on like, hey, what would it look like if I started coaching plumbing the industries just like you coach the health industry? And that's the most incredible part about taking action on these ideas and these opportunities you have inside of your business. If you take action, you're going to have opened so many different realms of possibilities. The ability to speak on stage, the ability to host and run retreats, the ability to separate yourself from the business, to maybe start a business that you never considered starting. Maybe it's not even in the health industry because your business runs without you and it's not 100% reliant on you. And this is everything that all of our clients have and operate with inside of C2C. They have these exact same traits. Every single practitioner that I work with is self-led. They want to work to have a business that works outside of themselves. They have an openness where when we talk about ideas, even if it is something that they've implemented before, they're like, I'm willing to try again because it's from a different angle. They have a willingness to fail where if we do a promotion and they're like, okay, you know what? Last time I ran the promotion, it was this. They take those failures and they turn them into lessons, and that's where they get the most success. That's where they have a higher show rate. They have higher sign-up rates. They have higher retention inside of their business because they care. They care enough to make those changes and make them quickly. And ultimately, they see faster results because they move faster. Sorry, speed in business is what dictates success. And there are so many practitioners and health pros out there when I'm like, hey, like, how long have you been at like just low 6-figure months? And they're like, it's been 4 years. And I'm like, well, why did you let it get to 4 years? Why weren't you making these changes a year ago? Or so many practitioners that have been solopreneurs for 8 years, and now they're like, you know what? I think it's time that I have a team. They always had these lingering questions in the back of their mind. And maybe you have these lingering questions. Like, I know that I can be performing better than I am now. I know that I can be serving more people than I am now. I know that I don't want to in the future be the only person serving these clients. I know that I want a team. If you're having these thoughts already, then that means that you already know that's the direction you need to go to. So why not act on it today? The people who are the most successful in business have feelings and intuitions. They recognize that things are changing and they follow the change. If you're willing to follow the change, that's when your results and the level of your business is going to change in reflection of that. And that's why whenever you're looking at some of these practitioners online, you're like, holy cow, how did you go from just like working by yourself to now you have 3 clinics? Or holy cow, how did you go from a 1,200 square foot facility for training to now you have 30,000 square feet, like the business that we just took on 2 weeks ago? Where they started with a very, very small facility, took over the whole building, and then once they had the whole building, they moved into like a Zeller's Plaza, which is like a commercial real estate plaza. Now, there's another trait which I haven't mentioned yet, which I think is really important. As I was having that conversation with my friend, he had mentioned this really, really quick, and I was like, how interesting. He said, I'm always looking for opportunities to grow because I'm not comfortable doing the same thing every day. Me just running my plumbing business, having people on the road, they were just going out to the service calls. I was making money, like I was making good money. It's not that I wasn't making money. It became very stale. And I knew that with my skills and my talents, I was capable of more. I'm not comfortable sitting there, writing the emails, serving the people, writing the invoices for the jobs day in and day out. It's boring, it's stale, and it's actually the thing that drives me stir crazy. And when I look towards all of our clients, it's the same thing. They want to serve more people, but not the same way every single day. They want to be doing new things. They want to push the boundaries of their growth. That's when business becomes exciting again. Like, remember the beginning of your business when everything was new? You were fired up to do new things and new programs and launch new courses because you're like, holy cow, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm seeing progress in this stuff. And then you get to this point where like you fill up your time and everything just gets kind of comfortable. And comfortable gets boring, but you know how to maintain boring. This is where now you have to take it to the next level. Is the next level for you hiring a team? Then let's help you hire that team. Is the next level for you building online and group programs where then you can start to take back your time? Then let's help you take back that time. Is the next level for you increasing your square footage size or maybe taking on an additional practice or buying out your competition? Cool. Then let's help you do that. But there is always a next level. The moment you become comfortable with where you are, this is where your results are going to start to diminish slowly. And they diminish slowly for a reason. It's because energetically, you know that you're in a farther place than where you are now. And a great example of this was my transition into business coaching. I was doing hormone coaching and we had clients and we were making money and the business was successful. And it was about, I would say, a year and a half into that business where I was like, you know what? I'm capable of more. I can be helping other people build the same successful business that I just built. And that idea germinated in my mind for over an entire year. And you know what I started to discover? I started to discover that the more I was working with hormone people instead of working with business people, I started to get more and more bored. I started to get more and more disconnected. My energy started to shift. I was anxiously waiting for the client to finish up so I could hop off the call and actually work on the thing that I wanted to work on. My energy was already over into the change that I knew was coming. Why did it take me a whole year? Because I was afraid and because I was slow to pull the trigger. But going through this process, it hit a point where I had a conversation with my wife, Lorna, and I said to her, I can't stay in this in-between land because it's starting to impact my clients and what I'm doing in the hormones. It is better for me to do the pivot quickly and do it now, because once I invest all of the time, energy, and effort here, these people are going to be served in a better way, transitioning with someone else. And then I can serve all of the business owners, practitioners, and coaches to help them grow and scale. The moment I made that decision, that's when multiple clients started coming from me to business. That's when I started having tons of different opportunities to speak on higher levels. And that's when I started getting the larger clients that I was looking for to help them scale in that way. You are at a pivoting point right now where you have already declared a level of growth inside of your business or a level of growth for you personally. And now the only thing that's preventing you from getting there is your decision, your openness, and your willingness to get to that next level. And that's why whenever I'm working with the clients inside of C2C, one of the first things that we sit down in the discovery call is understanding what is the time frame and length that you've been at this position right now. Because if you've been at this stagnating or stale point for a year or 2 years or 4 years, like some of the people who come to us, the first thing that we have to work on is changing the pivot of identity, of getting you to declare what it is that you're looking to work towards, so we can remove and cut all of the energetic ties around all of the things that's keeping you stuck where you are. And a lot of times, the thing that's keeping you stuck is not failure. It's not that your business isn't making money, or you're not signing clients, or it's not generating revenue. A lot of the times, the thing that is keeping you stuck are all these energetic ties that are keeping you feeling safe. Because when you feel safe, you don't really feel the urge to move very quickly. Because why move quickly when I have all of this in front of me and it's working really well? Why would I change this and risk what's going on or give myself a new challenge when I worked really hard to get myself to this position? But this is where you have to think about it differently. And this is where I showcase inside of C2C. I spend a lot of time talking with clients. The thoughts of today and the identity of today is what shapes the identity of tomorrow. So where you are right now came from the decision to declare a higher level of state, your choice to take risk and take challenges, and your willingness and openness to continue to try whether or not you were going to fail or not. And that's what got you to where you are in this moment. That's what got you clients filled. That's what got you a business where your clients love you and they're signing up month over month and they want to work with you and refer to you. It's because you made the decision to change and grow. And understand that everything that you are thinking today, right now, all of these ideas, they are becoming tomorrow's future. The only difference is at what speed are they becoming tomorrow's future? Have you declared something and it's going to be 6 years future, or are you going to declare something and it's going to be the future for tomorrow? Only you get to determine that speed. But the moment we make that decision, it is an instantaneous change which delivers instantaneous results. This is where the program you push ends up being filled effortlessly. This is where the team member that you're looking for, that you've been spending 6 months in the ether trying to find, you find the right candidate ASAP. This is where, when you're looking at your business, all of a sudden you go from, I'm so swarmed with ideas and I'm so uncertain with what to do, to all of those things becomes removed, and the path becomes a clear focus. It becomes a clear focus because you have now aligned yourself with that future identity. You've lined yourself up with the outcome, the goal, and the desire that you are working towards. That's when the road of success, the yellow brick road, find it, Dorothy, click your heels, that shit is going to make it to the end. Because now your desire, your need, and the capacity to do that is going to open up to you. So those are the traits that make a successful practitioner and a successful health coach. You have to take fast action. You have to be willing to grow. You have to have an openness to learn new things, and you can't be afraid to fail. That's it. Otherwise, everything else always works. And as we finish up this episode, guys, going into the holiday season, I want to reiterate, we still have 2 spots open for December to join C2C. It is your perfect opportunity to get the jump on your business now. Don't wait till January when that is the perfect opportunity for you to be taking clients in. Don't wait till February or March where you miss that large wave of potential coming in for people who want to start. Get and make the change now. When you join C2C, you get access to not just myself, but also my team, where we help you implement all of the strategy, all of the SOPs to be able to bring on new team members. And we help you break the barriers to make the identity possible. Where instead of it being a future goal, we can help you pave the pathway so you're like, holy shit, I can actually see this now. I have clarity, I'm getting fired up about my business again, and I have that drive going through the holidays. Because I can tell you something, in every single health business, does not matter whether it's training, nutrition, whether it's hypnotherapy, whether it's physiotherapy, every single health business capitalized in January, February, and March. This is your opportunity to get the kickstart and the leg up on that. To be prepared for these people coming in so you can start your year off right. And I hate this new year, new you, not really about that. And just like you don't market to your clients about that, you know that when a client starts later, they could have seen results sooner if they had just taken the action now. And that's where I say taking fast action as a business owner is the thing that it is the most beneficial skill and tool. The faster you operate, the faster you take action is the less you are going to be reacting inside of your business. None of the coaches and health pros we work with inside of Coach to Coach are reactive. They have 60 to 90-day marketing calendars. They have their sales system that's already plugged out. They know exactly the offers that they're promoting. They know what they're filling, and they have clients that are already being warmed and nurtured to this, which is why all of these things get filled inside of their business. It doesn't have to be difficult. It's always a one-on-one and intimate experience with my company because we are working towards building a business that is fully in alignment with you. It's not cookie cutter. We do a deep dive into your business, and I operate like a CFO inside of your business. The goal is so you can get into a place where you're like, holy crap, this business actually can run and be sustainable without me. That is the goal. So we have 2 more spots accepting for December. And you can go to growmycoaching.com and then book a discovery call. The discovery call is where you and I sit down and learn more about exactly what is going on inside of your business. We create a structure that makes sense for you, and then we get you started ASAP. And if you join in December, you also get access to Fast Launch and Client Converting Content, the 2 programs that help you create a new offer, fill the offer in 40 days, and Client Converting Content, which helps you attract higher quality clients through your organic content in your cold content like your ads. So if you have any questions on that, you can always DM me at Coach Andrew Costa on Instagram, or just book the discovery call and we can have the conversation. That is all for this episode, guys. Have a happy holiday season, and we will see you on the next one.